two.
Hey Mountain Ridge, this past Sunday we started our brand new series, Unsettled, where we want to help answer your questions. And the question today is, why am I unhappy? I mean, all of us have faced moments at our time in our life where we would say, you know what, I'm just not happy, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm discouraged. But God speaks to that. God speaks to you and He speaks to me that in the middle of that unhappiness that He wants to work within our life. I want to read a passage that James wrote to the church that he writes to you and to me about this idea. And he says this in James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. It says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." That idea of lacking in nothing. So it really begins to allow me to ask a question. So how do I begin to experience happiness? If I'm not happy, how do I experience it? And here's some things or some tools that I use that help me in those moments where I find myself down or discouraged or overwhelmed. One of them is I stop living in the past. How many of us look to the past and we allow that to dictate or determine where we go or what we do or how we act in the future, in the present? Another one is change your perspective, the way you look at life. Change what you're looking at. You don't always have to look at everything from a negative perspective. Begin to look at it the way that God sees it, to see the beauty and the grace and the mercy and all the amazing things that He's put around us. Another one is you got to spend time daily with God. Getting into the Word, experiencing God's joy that He has for you. God wants you to experience His joy. He wants you to have His happiness. And so the only way you and I can do that is by spending time with Him. Another one is to grow in gratitude, to be thankful, to just look back and to look at your life and to say, God, thank you for where I am and what I'm doing and what I'm experiencing. So often we forget to be thankful for the life that we have. And another one that I think is so valuable is to get on mission, to live your life, as Pastor Brett talked about this past weekend, with purpose. You have a purpose, and God wants to use that purpose in your world where you live every single day. Another one is to serve, to just simply serve others the way that you and I long to be served. When we begin to set ourselves aside or think less of ourselves and we put other people first, everything changes in your life and in mine. We find satisfaction, we find happiness and encouragement because we're giving of ourselves to others. And another one that I think is so important, the last one is this: stop comparing. Don't compare your life to others. I know you probably get on social media and you see what people are doing or the life that they're living, and you look at yours and say, well, why isn't mine like that? That's just a snapshot of people's life. That's not a true reality most of the time. So don't compare. God has you where He wants you because He wants to do something amazing in your life. He wants you to experience the fullness of His mercy and His grace. And that's how you and I can begin to experience happiness.